thought I would go live and if anybody's awake out there and see if anybody's doing anything and just talk about life again and the things that are going on and about what I'm doing, which today I'm flying back to Iloilo, going back home since been gone for so long over here in Leyte, and which is okay. I've enjoyed myself, over there shaky, satisfied, but I wasn't too happy today at McDonald's, and so I just left and I went and I ate at Kenny Rogers and said, "Hey, Happa, how you doing?" And well, way past breakfast, Fox. But yeah, I got something to eat, and but anyway, uh, yeah, I'm just sitting here. I'm waiting for my flight. Okay, we're reconnecting, and oh, you watched that last stream happen? Yeah, there was other people that didn't like that last stream, but oh well. This is the Colonels Chronicles. You just never know what's going to happen, and I'm a very opinionated dude. Can you guys see me now, or is it still getting the Xbox circle of death? But anyway, can somebody give me in the chat there if you can see me or not? Hold on, let me see what's going on with the internet. Hold on one second. All right, Fox. Thanks, Fox, for telling me I'm back. The internet here is not that great over here. I'm not. I don't believe I'm using Wi-Fi. I'm just using. Hold on one second. I'll tell you. Yeah, I'm not using Wi-Fi right now. I'm using straight up my SIM. There we go. Should be back now. And I'm just using my internet from up in the sky. I was in the mall earlier, and they have a Starlink in there at the one shop, but it's the residential Starlink. And believe it or not, their residential Starlink is cheaper. He quoted me a price cheaper than what the Starlink Mini would be. And as I'm seriously thinking about getting a Starlink Mini, it's a big purchase, and then you're tied to the monthly plan, maintenance plan, whatever it is. But if I had that, I wouldn't be so tied to my phone or to the Wi-Fi I use a Globe SIM card. So I'm thinking about that Starlink Mini. But the trick is, I'm not going to buy it from the U.S. I'll buy it here, which means I'm going to pay a little bit more for it here. But hopefully, yeah, I know about that old 360 Circle of Death. I had an Xbox 360. I like that thing, man. And I had PlayStation too, but I liked my Xbox better. But I had Rock Band, I had Guitar Hero. I tell you what, I miss Rock Band. I like that. And I got to the point I wasn't really into the guitars. I was into playing the drums. And I used to bang on those drums on Rock Band on Xbox 360 just for exercise. And I would be done, doing that on the Xbox 360. And I'd be sweating. And I'd get down and be like, wow, I feel like I just went to the gym. But yeah, Fox, I know about that. So, but anyway, what's new out there in the YouTube world or in your life? What's going on with you, Happa? You said it was pretty crazy. Yeah, well, I appreciate you going back and looking at that, Happa. I appreciate that because I need watch hours. So I appreciate you doing that. I appreciate you supporting the channel. My flight's not till tonight, so I'm thinking about 2 hours I'm going to head to the airport. I like to get there about 3 hours early, so I'll tell you what time it is. And but I'm going to keep that a secret just in case somebody wants to meet me and do something to me. I don't want to give up all my secrets to everybody. Shoot, I might not even be going back to Iloilo, but that's what I'm telling everybody. Nah, I'm going back there. Emma Watt, welcome. You can put it in standby for $5 a month when not in use. Oh, the Starlink. Well, that's good to know, Emma Watt. So that if I get tired of paying it, I can just put it in standby. Okay. I don't know if does that apply worldwide or is that just in the U.S. You know, I don't know what kind of plan what they do over here in the Philippines. I need to look into that. I'll talk to James and Karen about that. Find out what they're paying. I don't know if he's playing U.S. or if he's playing Philippines. I don't know. I talked to him about it. I've talked to him a little bit, but not seriously. Hey Lou, hey Colonel. Thanks for your comments on the videos and stuff. We appreciate that, really do. And I take it you saw my McDonald's experience this morning. It was joking. It's like every time I go into McDonald's here in the Philippines, and I'm a Burger King person, okay. And I'm not just going to tell you everything at Burger King is perfect, but I never had the issues at Burger King that I got in McDonald's over here. And honestly, I didn't eat McDonald's when I lived in Thailand because over there Burger King is outstanding. The Burger King in Thailand is better than Burger King in the U.S. If you can imagine that, or if you believe that or not, it's the truth. Everything's freshly made. They don't now. You got to wait a little bit longer because they don't make it until you order it. That's how they do cost savings. But yeah, the Burger King, even Burger King time is much better than Burger King here in the Philippines. But I'll take Burger King in the Philippines over McDonald's any day. These yahoos at McDonald's, oh my goodness. I ain't never seen a place that runs out of. It's got to be the management that's not keeping stock on hand. It could be the owners behind the scenes that are forcing them to do that or won't allow them to keep stock. I don't know. But it seems to me like it's poor management. They're always running out of food. Always. It seems like all the food places there need to get their act together. Yeah, Hapa. Some of them are okay. Some of them are okay. But even going in the S&R and ordering pizza, sometimes it's a challenge. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes it's a challenge. And I even got to one point where I told the lady that she was downright rude, because she was rude to me about something stupid that she didn't even have to say anything about. And it had to be with where I was standing after I paid. And I'm like looking at her like, really, lady? I'm putting my money, my change back in my wallet. You can't wait 1 second. You had to come over and tell me I needed to move from that spot and move over one more foot. I just looked at her and I told her, I said, you're rude. I said, you do not know anything about customer service. And I said, I really should talk to your manager and tell them that you need some retraining. We're the customers. Show a little bit of respect. Well, later, when they brought the pizza out, she came out and apologized to me. 'Cause I didn't say anything to the manager, but I let her know. Because I think she started thinking, wow, yeah, I was kind of rude to that old white guy. Because she was. But anyway, I notice as I'm getting older, my patience is getting thinner. I just don't put up. But you got to be patient in a foreign country. You got to be patient, definitely here in the Philippines. Lou says, I remember I was trying to buy an iced coffee from McDonald's in Zamboanga City. I asked the cashier if they can pour hot coffee into a cup of ice, and the cashier said they cannot. That's funny, but I believe it. That sounds like Thailand too. That's funny. I'll say something in a minute about Thailand. So I asked the cashier to give me a hot coffee and a cup of ice, and my Filipino got mad at me saying that this is not the U.S. and stop being demanding. Okay. Well, you know what I would have said to her? Go home. No. I mean, I don't think that was being demanding, Lou. I really don't. But now in Thailand, what's funny over there, and the reason why the fast food in Thailand is generally very, very good, everything is done with pictures. I was able to look behind the counter one time, and they have training posters everywhere, and it shows them exactly how the food is supposed to be placed on the tray to give to the customer. And I tell you what, they don't deviate. I mean, it looks exactly like that, perfect, like that picture. And give me an example, they stack the fries up at an angle up against the burger, and then they have the drink. And if the angle on those fries is not just right, they won't give it to you until they get that angle. I mean, they'll figure out how to get that angle, just, do whatever they got to do to get it just right so it matches that photo. And I'm like, and so I asked somebody one time about it, I'm like, what's going on? They're like, no, that's the way they do it. Because in Thailand, it seems like they don't have critical thinking, and everything is it has to be a photo or a picture or a video. If they don't have a picture for reference, they can't comprehend I mean, that's just the way it seems. I'm sure it's not the way, but that's the way it seems. But that's funny, Lou. I'm paying for the cup of coffee. It's not like I'm getting it for free. Absolutely. You're the customer. But I'm just not going to say anything. Norm, hey, mate. Good day, mate. How's it going? I'm trying to do my best Australian accent there. How are things down under there, Norm? I appreciate you coming over here. And I know Bellis really appreciates you, man, Norm. I ain't going to lie to you. Bellis appreciates you. 100. He talks to me about you, so he really appreciates that. I'm a what? I am actually shocked that McDonald's runs like that, being a franchise. They high standards. They don't have high standards over here. I hate to tell you. Or if they do, the standards are not enforced. Let me put it that way. I'm sure they do have high standards, but it's not enforced here. Philippines is so laid back. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, they're okay. That's a guideline. The standards. It doesn't have to be that way. It's just a guideline. Yeah, I know what it says, but I know the fries are supposed to be hot when they're served to the customer, but hey, we don't want to waste them. Just give it to them cold. They're not going to say anything. This is the Philippines. The Filipino people aren't going to complain. That's not always true. I've seen Philippine people complain, and I've seen some ladies get downright nasty, and I'm like, whoa. Then I'm like, yeah, get them. Yeah. But don't you do it as a foreigner. Oh my goodness, it would be definitely a faux pas if you did that as a foreigner. But anyway, what's that? Is that Riptoxy or hold on? I gotta look closer. Riptoxy, hi, hello to you, and you hope I'm okay. I hope I'm okay too. Seems like I'm okay. Thanks for joining us there. Is that Rest in Peace Toxy or is your nickname Rip? Or are you just Rip Toxy? Is that kind of like... Oh, never mind. I was going to say something stupid. Anthony. It's that Anthony Tandukan. It says hello. How do you, Anthony? Welcome to my little live stream here in Tacloban, or Tacloban. Late. I'm still at the hotel here. But paying customers as well. Absolutely, Hopper. Anthony, yeah, I can see your chat. And I don't know how many times you want me to answer that. I usually just answer once. And yeah, I see you and I said hello back to you. You seem a little needy, but welcome to the chat. Glad you're here. Everybody hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. It helps out the algorithm, helps let people know that the Colonel's still alive. I find the older I get, the smaller the care factor about what I say. You know what? God bless you, Norm. Isn't that the truth? But you know, it's been my experience that most Aussies don't really give a what they say anyway. They just say whatever comes out their mouth, whether it's taboo or whether it's culturally acceptable or not. Excuse me. They just say whatever they want. I got allergies, folks, so my nose itches a lot, and I'm allergic to like 5 of the 6 different types of molds. I might even be allergic to YouTube. I don't know. Whenever I go live, my head starts to itch and my nose starts to get tickles in it, and I don't want to shove my finger up my nose like the Thai people do, because if you didn't notice, in Thailand it's okay to pick your nose, but don't pick your teeth in public. You can have your nose up to the second knuckle and walking down the street, and the Thai people that doesn't bother them one bit. But if you're going to go like use a toothpick, you better be putting your mouth up here and hiding that you're picking your teeth. I don't get it myself, but different cultures. It's kind of funny. So it's funny now. I kind of adapted. Even here, I'm like covering my mouth. In Americans, they'll sit there. They'll have the toothpick hanging out their mouth, and flipping it around and doing somersaults with the toothpick with their mouth half open. Not over here. But Americans, they don't want to get caught dead picking their nose. But Thailand, they'll pick their nose. I mean, it's crazy. It's just, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm a what? When you get old, it's the ADHD that kicks in high gear. Happens to me. Well, I'm not going to say the H part of it, but the ADD for me. Yeah, I'm like all over the place. That's kind of why I think YouTube is good for people like me, because you guys come in here and you chat and you say stuff, and Sometimes it's all different subjects, and that helps somebody with ADD because it takes our mind from one to another. Because that's how our mind works anyway. My mind is running 1,000 miles an hour all the time, even when I'm sleeping, probably because I don't really truly go to sleep, and that's part of that sleep apnea thing. But anyway, yeah. So when different topics are thrown at me, I actually work better with that because I can jump from one to the other, and then I can go back to the one that I didn't finish talking about, finish up there, and then jump to something totally different. Yeah, it works for me. Um, Niels, how you doing, Niels? Welcome to the Colonels Chronicles. Thanks for being a frequent flyer, and appreciate you being here along with everybody else. It's a good day in the Philippines, even though I'm not happy with McDonald's right now. But it's typical for McDonald's in the Philippines. What can you say? Norm says, Bella seems to be a really nice guy, and I can't wait to visit. Well, Norm, if you're coming over to visit Bellis, I'm coming over to visit you. So, I mean, I'll come over there if Bellis lets me. I stayed so long this time, though, I'm not sure that it might be a long time before I'm welcome back at the Bellis home. I think, yeah, I think I was wearing his wife thin. You know, you're a woman, you know, it's a little bit different. It's your house. You just kind of sometimes you want things to be back to normal, and you want to have your house back. And I kept telling them that, hey, you want me to leave? No, it's all right, Colonel. I'm like, hey, you want me to leave? I could, you know, I could go to Tacloban anytime. Just have your driver drive me over there. I can leave any. You know, I was just sticking around because I was down there flirting with that girl, and you know, checking to see if that was a viable relationship. And you know, it still might be, but you know, I'm talking to other people too, and I believe in keeping your options open until you're in a committed relationship, and then you need to be 100% committed. That's just how I am. I don't believe in 50-50. I believe in 100%, 100%. But, you know, we got a long discussion about that too. Maybe not right now. But anyway, did you see the news? Some lady who was streaming, oh my goodness, this was in the Philippines. Well, that's messed up, Hap. I'm going to have to look into that or talk to somebody. I didn't know that. I'm going to have to watch my six now when I'm walking around, if that's the case. Now, tell me a little bit about that. Was she like streaming something that she shouldn't have been? Was she streaming people that she didn't ask permission? I like to ask people. And if I don't ask them, I try to point the camera away. And then usually what they're doing is they're trying to get into the picture. And then I ask, hey, I'm live streaming on YouTube. Do you want to be? And what I like to do to some of these young people, you want to be famous? You know, like, yeah. Yeah, they're not going to be famous on my channel. But most of the Filipinos are okay with it. So that I'm really surprised at that. So I'm curious as to what the circumstances were for that. And I'm sure that will make the big news over here. So I have to keep a lookout for that. But that's a shame. I hope she didn't lose her life. I hope she's okay. Yeah, that's messed up. I hate to hear that. Lou, I noticed that McDonald's usually only have the cheap items available. The other items, they just have it for the sake of appearing like a functioning McDonald's. Ain't that the truth, Lou? I hope I'm saying your name right, brother. But ain't that the truth? That's what it seems like, man. It's like, if you really want something, they don't have it. And then what got me this morning, though, was it was kind of like, hold on a second. On that plate that I ordered, it had a little bit of everything from the menu. The menu on it, I'm like, you don't have any of that? I asked her, you don't have any of that? And she's like, no, all we have is longanisa and cheesy eggs. And you got to understand, McDonald's, cheesy eggs is like they do their little omelet thing or whatever, and they slap a slice of cheese on there. I mean, that's their cheesy egg, from what I've had in the past. Now, when I do cheesy eggs, it's going to be scrambled eggs, and the cheese is going to be melted in there and everything. It's, you know, going to be living large with cheesy eggs in my house. But it's McDonald's, so you already know going in there, it is what it's going to be. But when you go in there, they go, oh, we don't have that. I'm like, you don't have any of that? No, sir. Sorry, sir. All we have is longanisa and the cheesy eggs. I was looking at. I'm like, you're joking, right? You're kidding me, right? No, she wasn't kidding. And then the manager got involved, and that didn't go as well as I expected either, because I ain't the one, man. I've been in management before, and that lady was just blowing smoke up my backside. And she's like, well, 5 minutes, the menu's going to change over to the burgers. I'm like, well, yeah, your girl over here said you had burgers, and I could order one now. Oh, well, that menu doesn't switch over. I was just like, and I'm like, I can wait for 2 more minutes. But then the colonel got attitude then. And I just walked out and I said, you know what? I'm going to live stream this just because I need to vent to somebody. But, I put some text on there and everything, let everybody know, hey, I don't hate the Philippines. I love the Philippines. And I'm not against that McDonald's per se. And whatnot. And usually everything in the Philippines is usually really good. So I don't want people looking at my videos, oh man, he's bad mouthing the Philippines and he's doing this and that and the other. And I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I love the Philippines and I love the Filipino people. However, sometimes things are less than perfect. And that's just the way it is. And if this offends anybody, Fox, if you're offended by me talking like that, apologies, brother, but man, I am who I am, man. I ain't perfect. Let's see. Did you see it? Okay, yeah, it's horrible. Hapa, which province? Yeah, Hapa. Where did that occur at, bro? Hey, Lowell. Brother Lowell's in the house. Hello from Oregon. God bless. How are you doing? I'm doing all right, Lowell. I woke up another day. God bless me with another day. And so it's a good day, man. Seems like it's a good day for you, too. Every day above the ground is a good day, the way I look at it. Norm, hey, why hold stuff back? Just tell it. Just tell it as it is. My Asawa doesn't like when I speak up. Yeah, well, you know, I'm not even going there. I'm not getting in the middle of that one. You're just going to have to handle that. Uh, Handle that one on your own with Dr. Colonel's help. Luz, Colonel, have you bought shoes in the department store? They always say that the sample model shoe is the only available for that size. Man, don't you love that? Don't you love that? But you know what? I don't fall for that anymore. And what I do now, and yes, I have, to answer your question, yes, I have, many times. But now I'm rocking my Skechers slip-ins. I love these things, man. Yeah, I don't ever have the time. I time one time and that's it. And those were the shoes I was rocking when first time I drove up the road to James and Karen's, and I didn't want to get them all muddy because they were brand spanking new. And that's when I let the bike slip out from underneath me because I didn't have my feet down, and that's how I burnt my leg real bad. But anyway, now I don't care about these things. They're not even black anymore. They're kind of like a dark brown, I think, from the being stained from the mud. But anyway, I think when I get home, I'm going to take the scrub brush to them and try and get them black again. We'll see. I got another pair at the house, so I'm trying to save them for special occasions. But yeah, I bought the shoes. So what I do now, though, Lou, is I just, I look at that, and when they try that number on me, that's all I'm like, well, can you check in the back for me, please? Just check in the back, see if you have any. And then they roll her out like, oh, man, he's actually going to make me work. Yeah, it's your cotton picking job. But normally, it's not a problem. But every once in a while, you'll get that one person who's having a bad day, and they're just like, or this is my favorite, Lou, when you go in and you like hardware store, hey, do you have such and such? And they're like, or where's such and such? Oh, we don't have it. What do you mean you don't have it? You didn't even look. We don't have it. So what I do now is I go around and I look for it. I tried the easy way, but then I think, no, I'm just going to go look. And about 50-50, I'll go through all the aisles. I'll find what I was actually looking for, and then I'll grab it and I'll go up to the salesman and say, "See, you got it. This is what I was looking for. You do have it." And they look at you like, "Oh, he caught me." Yeah, it's called accountability, and accountability to the customer. Learn about it. But a lot of it goes back to training. If the management's not training the staff properly, that's what you're going to get. Or it's just laziness. And most Filipinos are not lazy. So it's why it's frustrating sometimes. And sometimes they just don't know what you're talking about. They don't understand. Then when you show them, like, oh yeah, we have that. I'm like, well, that's what I said. Exactly what's on the label. You read the label. This is what I said. And they're like, oh. And you get a little sheepish look, like, oh, sorry, sir. Yeah, okay. I know you're sorry. That's one of the worst things we can do, and I do it too. We go, I'm really sorry, and the person across, yeah, I know you are. You sure are sorry. So that's why I kind of switch this. I apologize. Forgive me. All right, I think I beat that horse enough. Uh, Rizal province. Oh, up in Rizal, Hopper. Really? That's over on Luzon. Wow. I'm surprised about it. I wonder what. I still wonder what the whole story is on that. I wonder if there wasn't something else going on because that's messed up. Not too far from where I used to live. When you buy the floor sample shoe, they immediately replace it with a fresh shoe from the backstop. I can't even argue with you, my friend. I can't even argue with that. Look, see, that made my head itch. Can't even argue with you on that one. Mike, is that Michael C? Am I reading that? Yeah, Michael C. from Tracy. Martinez. How you doing, Michael C? Welcome. Hey, Colonel. Had to check in, bro, with you. Man, I appreciate you checking in. I'm just sitting here poolside in Tecloban at the Summit Hotel. And every once in a while, the staff walks by and trying to figure out what this bald-headed white dude's doing sitting by the pool but not swimming. And but they haven't said anything to me yet. You know, they're probably like, why is he talking to himself for? but anyway, good to see you, Michael. Glad that you're here. Xer OC Crew says hello. Well, hello to you. I hope I said that name close. I don't know if I did or not. Hey, folks, I'm looking at the top of the screen. I see all the people in here, and I see all the thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. And if you're just scrolling by, and if you're so inclined, go ahead and tap that thumbs up for me. That helps me out. It might even help me get a better signal. I don't know. I know it doesn't do that, but it's nice to think, wouldn't it? Yeah, can you imagine if that's the way it worked? Based on the amount of thumbs, there we got somebody. Thank you. If I see that hand, but if the amount of thumbs up determined how strong your signal was, oh my goodness, wouldn't that be funny? That'd be hilarious. I'd have such a low signal all the time, but I appreciate it all, y'all. Yeah, I'm doing 14 out of 14. That's nice. That's sweet. I appreciate you guys and girls. Okay, I get tongue-tied when talking because too many things going through my head to decide what to say. Norm, I totally 100% relate to you. I totally, see, I did it right there. I totally percent 100 relate to you. Yeah, I get it, man. I really get it. Actually, I'm from the Philippines. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love it when Philippine people come into the live stream because I'm here in the Philippines. I mean, look, it's obvious I don't look Filipino, but I love living here in the Philippines. And for the most part, I love the Filipino people. Unless you treat me badly, which not too many do. Not too many do. And that's why it's unfortunate what happened to James and Karen too, because evidently someone was not good to them, and that occurs. Every society has bad people in it, but by and large, I love living here, man. And the people are so friendly. They just need to get their act together at fast food. So that's just all there is to it. You got to speak the truth. That's the Bible says, speak the truth in love, right? Excuse me. But awesome. Let me lift my glasses up and look at something real quick. So you have to help me with the name. It looks like Oxir, Osi. That's how an American would say that, or how I would say it anyway. Norm says, probably won't be until next year when I move there and buy a car. Easier to travel then. I hear you, Norm. Sometimes 4 wheels is better than 2 if it's raining. I like the 2 wheels for if I want to get somewhere quickly, because it is what it is. But especially Iloilo, you're gonna get wet. 9 chances out of 10, you're probably gonna get wet in Iloilo. Same here over in. Although it's a nice sun. Look at the sky today. Now I'm not over where Bellis was, but look at that blue sky. Yeah, there's clouds up there, but it's a beautiful day today. Nice breeze. Not too hot. I read something that the UV was going to be really bad today, but I'm sitting under a soffit here, or whatever. No, I'm sitting under a roof. We'll just say the roof. But Norm, look forward to you coming here, brother. Yuga Yagami. Yeah, that's a funny question. What do you think? You tell me. You tell me what shampoo you think I use. Trying to be funny. If If you can guess what shampoo I use, I might acknowledge you. Tom Severs is back. Enjoy the Colonels Chronicles from Ohio. Tom, appreciate you. Stay warm. Stay warm up there in Ohio. I know it's got to be chilly. Neil says, I got my ticket. I'm coming back on March 6th. I'm coming into Clark in Angley City. Well, good for you, Niels. I would never fly into that. I'd have to have a real good reason to fly into that city. If you live there, you're staying there, I get it. But Clark is just too expensive for the Colonel as far as what I want to spend. Can I do it? Absolutely, I can do it. Am I going to do it? No. No, I'll take the bus up there from Manila. You know, it's just not. I mean, you're looking like domestic flights. You're looking at maybe a 1,900 to 3,000 peso flight compared to 16,000. It just makes no sense to me. Why waste that money? And the bus ticket is just a few hundred pesos. It's a no-brainer to me. Unless you just want to fly into there and you got a good reason for it, then do it. Who am I to judge? I agree with you on the 100%. That's right, Niels. You know, any woman, this is going to be controversial, but any woman that tells me, oh, it's 50-50, it's going to be half and half. I'm like, well, if you're only going to give me 50%, who's the guy that's getting the other 50? Something to think about. Same thing for a man. If you're going to tell a woman, I'll give you 50-50. Okay? She's getting 50. Who's getting the other 50? Your buddies, your bros, or the other girl? Something to think about. People are going to hate me for saying that. You know what? I don't care. Hapa says, Rizal, January 17th. A woman known as Paloma. Nope, I don't know her. Tending her vegetable stall during a Facebook Live session was shot in Barangays. Oh, I know Santa Ana. That's sad. Tai Rizal, according to the Manila Bulletin. Now, that sounds to me that didn't have anything to do with her live streaming. That just had to do with somebody wanted to shoot this lady for whatever stupid reason. You know. Yeah, I hope she's okay. And that's crazy. Oh, here's Neil says, the shooting was 3 days ago. It was a street vendor, and she was shot by her ex. The bullet grazed the back of her neck. Okay, so I guess she was okay. Yeah, you know, what can you do? What can you do, you know? What can you do? Are you Army, sir? Nick, I was in the Army. I did not retire from the Army. I retired from the U.S. federal government service, and I worked in the federal prisons. The nickname Colonel comes from my days from Hard Chargers Motorcycle Club, which that's the first time I've mentioned that on here. I was in a motorcycle club, and that was my road name. It also comes from when I worked in Southeast Georgia. Behind my back, they were calling me Colonel Sanders because I was rocking a white pointy goatee, had the glasses, you know, and hair getting some white. They called me Colonel because they thought I looked like Colonel Sanders. And I showed up one day for the Halloween party dressed like Colonel Sanders, and everybody just about flipped their lid. So they called me that. And out of respect for my father initially, when I got the road name with the motorcycle club, that was out of respect for my father, who was the original colonel. He was in the Army, 30 years in the Army, and retired. And so that's where that comes from. Because I'm waiting for people. I checked his military jacket. He was not a colonel. He wasn't even an officer. I don't know, why does he call himself the colonel? Why does he salute? Well, that's my nickname, and it just is kind of stuck over the years. And when I went to do the YouTube channel, that's what popped in my head, and that's what I'm going by. If you don't like it, that's fine. But yeah, I was in the Army 6 years, and I got out and did some odd jobs, built houses, some other crazy potato farm, and then I went back and worked for the state government first, and switched to the feds. And because as it turns out, the colonel works in a prison really well. Probably because of the way I was raised. I felt like I was raised in a prison. Yeah, I hate to hear that. People getting shot in a vegetable stall. Unbelievable. You know, I'd like to say what's the world coming to, but I know what it's coming to. So, Nick, hope that answers your questions. You yeah, LOL at you yeah. What? You yeah. Did I miss something? Did I miss something funny, or was that supposed to be Happa? Oh, you yeah. 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 Keep laughing, Niels. Or no, that wasn't Niels. Yeah, it was Niels. Keep laughing, Niels. You know, someday you might be in my situation. Well, see, I choose to be in this situation. Contrary to popular belief, I have to shave my head every other day because my hair grows like a weed, but I don't like the way my hair looks when it grows in, so I shave it off. And yeah, I don't have to buy shampoo. But that person only commented one time, so we all know what they're all about. My friend Amalwat, on the McDonald issue, the international standards, you can tell exactly when food is to run out because they can track exactly what is sold and exactly what was added to the inventory. Modern fast food operations have tech that know when to auto order inventory, so it's shocking the international standards are not followed. Well, it's like this, Ammo. What? They may have automatic things, but it's still bad management. Okay? If you have an automatic ordering system, well, you got to utilize that in order for it to work properly. If you don't know how to utilize it or you're not utilizing it, well, it's not going to work. Or you have an owner that's overseeing all that, and the owner has their hand on it, messing things up. Kind of like, dare I say it? Dare I say it? I'm going to say it. Kind of like my Dallas Cowboys and a certain owner named Jerry Jones, who always wants to be in the spotlight, always wants to have his thumb on, because, hey, he can because he owns the team. But, brother, stop screwing that team up. You've been doing it for 30 years now. We had a good thing going. You screwed that up. Got rid of a good coach. He's a hothead, and he was super hard on players. If you want to know the for real. I mean, Jimmy Jones. Even when I was reading the book about it, even when the Cowboys were winning, he was a total, what to work for. Excuse me, coach wise. See, I didn't bring a drink. This is what happens, and I'm not drinking the pool water. So we might have to end this sooner than I thought because I'm getting that froggy in my throat. But you bring up some good points. I didn't even think about that aspect of it, but it just goes back to, hey, it's still poor management, no matter how you slice it. Norm, I just bite my tongue if I can. I'm one of the only condos in town, so I stick out. Yeah, well, look at me, dude. I stick out everywhere I go, and not just my stomach. I got this white head sticking out. Darren Bartholomew, hey, Colonel, hey, Norm, hey, Christian. There you go. Welcome, Darren. Hey, Darren from Norm. Hey, Happa, any hot babes around the pool? Well, Happa, I'm going to show you instead of answering that. This is what I'm sitting next to, and this is what I'm sitting around at this pool. I mean, apparently, the Colonel picked the most happening place at this hotel. Look at that. You see all those people? You see all those girls? See all them beautiful Filipinos? Oh, I can see them. Can you? Yep. It's like when I check in a hotel and they ask me, if I have anybody with me, and I said, I point to the, yeah, my girlfriend right here. And they're like, huh? Yeah, it's my imaginary girlfriend. Can't you see her? And then they look at me like, you're a jerk. You're such a jerk. I'm like, I'm just messing with you, It's my imaginary girlfriend. I take her everywhere with me. Keeps me out of trouble. Happy says, hey, Darren, is that the summit by the Robinson's Mall? Yep, Derek, it is. You've obviously been here if you knew that. Darren, how's the professor? Well, the professor is not happy with McDonald's in the Philippines today. But I got over it. I went to Kenny Rogers. The food there is marginally better with their powdered macaroni and cheese. But they try. And I'm trying to figure out something, too. I ordered the grilled chicken and the barbecue whatever chicken. And I'm looking at everybody's plate. They got pieces of chicken. And then they tell me over the counter, sorry, sir, The only grilled chicken available, it's a chicken patty. Is that okay? And, the boneless. I'm like, why has everybody else got regular pieces of chicken and I get the little tiny breast? I said, well, don't give me the smallest one. I got the smallest one. It tastes, I feel like I'm getting to be like James of James and Karen. I'm starting to think everything's a conspiracy against me, or against. Yeah, I don't know, man. And right before that, there was this Aussie guy who jumped in front of me. He came up behind me in the line, and I kind of stepped out to look at the menu, and he kind of bunned up on me there. And I got back. I think he might have let me, but out of politeness, I just went behind him. And then there was two lines, so he was over in the left one, I'm in the right one. The guy in front of me was finished. That dude, man, with his greasy, he slid over in front of me, and I'm like, what? And he's ordering, and then that lady that was behind him, she moves up, and the person in front of her ordered, that was behind him too, I guess, and no, she was in front of him, so she finished, and that lady moved up and took her spot, and because I'm like, I'm not gonna go in there and jump in front of that lady like he did to me. I could have probably, but I decided not to. And then he has the audacity to turn around and kind of chastise me of like, why did I let her jump in front of me? You believe that? True story. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. And it wouldn't be so bad, but that dude, poor guy, needed a shower. But anyway, hey, Darren. Is that this? Yeah. We did that already. So anyway, that's how I'm doing, Darren. I'm just talking my usual nonsense. TM Womp is back, says hello. Welcome back to the midday or whatever time it is. What is it? Oh, it's 3 o'clock already. I might have to go soon. Let's see. He said, hello. What happened to James and Karen? Which time happened? They've had so much happen to them, it's not even funny. With their motorbike. You have to go over and check out their channel, check out their videos, and you'll see what's going on with them. They got a lot going on. I think they're fixing to rebuild that whole motor on his XR150L by Honda. The professor being tongue-tied, that's hard to be. Yeah, well, the brain's going 1,000 miles an hour, or 1,000 kilometers per hour, or 2,000 kilometers per hour, and the mouth's tongue's trying to keep up, and sometimes it lags behind. That's what happens when you get old. Things get slower. That's a nice pool, Emma Watt says. Yeah, it's nice, but it's tiny. It's very small. But yeah, it's not. It's a pretty nice pool. Just really, really small, but it's nice. They maintain it really well. It appears. I've never been in it. I don't even know how deep it is. Imagine what's right in front of me is the shallow end, and over there is the deeper end. And then they got a little, what? I guess that's a kiddie pool, or kind of looks like it'd be a jacuzzi, but it's not. That must be for that's the kiddie pool. It's got to be. And yeah, Norm says, I don't have my bike license, but we'll probably get one when I'm there. I need a car as we have our son. Well, Norm, I would suggest getting your bike license there in Aussie land. Get it there in Oz, so that when you bring your license over here to the LTO and you get it converted, they don't transfer it like us normal English-speaking people would say. They convert it into a Filipino license. It'll be easier for you in the conversion if you already have the motorbike. I don't know how they do it there in Oz. In Thailand, you get two separate cards, one for the motorbike, one for the car. But anyway, it'll be a whole lot easier in your conversion. If not, you'll have to take the driving test. So they have the practical exam, which means you're going to have to go drive down their little course, which is like a straight run down. You do a U-turn and come back. You do a U-turn around a small concrete barrier and come back, go through some cones, and that's that. It's a joke. I don't even know why they had to do it, but they made me do it because they said in Thailand I drove on the wrong side of the road. And I'm like, well, yeah, but before I got to Thailand, I spent my whole life driving in America. I can drive on both sides of the road. I said, the Thais do it all the time. They drive the wrong way and I've seen it over here. Tricycles going down the wrong side of the road, going the wrong direction. But hey, they can do it. But don't you do it as a foreigner. All right, here we go. Where to leave? Oh, Stone Cold is in the house. Being Stone Cold. Have you ever had your bike vandalized? Stone Cold, the most vandalism I've ever had on a motorbike was in Thailand, and it's just simply them pulling in beside you, not giving two you know what's about your property, and they just rub up against you, and you'll get a paint mark or whatever, which you got to get your rubbing compound out and buff that out. I've had that, but as far as excuse me, straight up vandalism. Oh, when I first went to Thailand, I just now remember this. One of my side view mirrors on my motorbike, it was stolen right off my bike at the mall, and I went and complained to security because they have security right there. I'm like, how could this happen? So they went, well, we'll have to check the cameras, mister, because they call you mister in Thailand. They don't say sir, they say mister. And I said, well, okay, you see if you can find the guy. Well, no, we're checking to make sure you had the mirror when you came in here. Excuse me? So we're starting out this conversation because I'm a foreigner and you're calling me a liar right from jump. You're telling me that I made it up, that someone stole my mirror because I'm trying to get a mirror from you, which I ended up paying for myself. They're like, well, you go replace it, mister, and you bring us the receipt, and we'll see if it's warranted to reimburse you. And I'm like, you know what? No thanks. Y'all are lucky you don't work for me as security. I just shaking my head. And I get it. Because there are con men out there. It's just another one of those things where you just shake your head. Because I ain't the one. I ain't trying to con anybody. But anyway. Yeah, hope that answers your question, Stone Cold. But I am contemplating that idea about putting some type of locking cap on the oil filler cap, because that's a shame. That's a shame. What probably, we don't know, but it's what probably happened. We don't know. But that's a brand new motorbike that James had. It shouldn't have had the sludge in it that it had. There's just no way. I don't care how hard he's been running it. It should not have sludge in it like that. I'll give a tour of the hotel later on. Upload. I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm heading to the airport very soon. I should have done that. I didn't think about doing that because I've stayed here before. I just didn't think about it. But no, my bad. I have a video already uploaded about this hotel. I've done that already. Yeah, from when I stayed here last time. Check my videos. You'll see it. It's in there. Shows the entrance, the lobby, shows the swimming pool. I think I even have a picture of the room in there. Yeah. Michael C., where are you now, bro? I'm in Tacloban, Leyte. Michael C., getting ready to fly back to Iloilo this evening. Been away from home for too long, so I'm going back to the house. I hope my motorbike's okay. Now, talking about motorbikes, because it's parked there behind my gate. I hope it's still there. Let's see. Tom Seaver says, the last I checked, it was 8F. Oh, 8 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, Tom. Yeah, that's cold, brother. Yeah, that's cold. That sounds like Alaska weather. Although, it ain't 60 below with wind chill. Wind chill, maybe 100 below. CEO to... Hey, Simon. CEO to Farmers here. Hello, Colonel. Hope you're having a good day. Yes, I am. Amazing weather up here in Isabela province. Cheers, Simon. Yeah. Simon, cheers to you too, man. I hope I get to meet you soon. Excuse me. David. Welcome, David. Is it true you're a thug hover? LOL. Oh, that's the David we're talking to. Oh, it's like that. Brother, let me tell you something, brother. I ain't no thug hugger. Okay? Right from the Hulkster. No one ever... Dave, tell you the truth, man. You don't know me that well, I guess, but no one ever even thought to call me that. Absolutely. Nah, that was not... No, I was not the one. If anything, I was a... They would call me an A something. Even the thugs called me that, but they said I was a fair one. Because I treated them all bad. I gave them what they had coming. I was fair. And they knew that. But good afternoon to you, Dave. Dave's from, he's a brother from another, from the tall side of the family. I'm from the short side of the family. It's all good. Derek says, congratulations, Indiana. Indiana, supposed to be. Congratulations, Indiana Hoosiers, national champions. Okay, there you go. I couldn't care less, but okay. I know who the Hoosiers are. I know who the Indiana, but I haven't been following that, so I'm sorry about that, Derek. But yeah, congratulations to them and those their fans. I'm sure they're like ecstatic. As far as college go, I just got to roll over and say roll tide. But I got a brother who lives in Alabama, and 2 kids went to University of Alabama. It is what it is. You were speaking the truth the last stream, Colonel. Appa says, it's not why a woman wears that's an issue. It's how she acts while wearing certain clothes. That hit me like a Mack truck because of one of my exes. Well, it is what it is, Appa. It is what it is. I don't even remember that, brother, to be honest with you. I don't have to go back and look at that. I hope I wasn't like dream talking again or something. What a woman wear. Yeah, I knew what you meant. What a woman wear. What's your beef with? You talking about McDonald's? Well, Stone Cold. You can go back to or go watch my one video. I did a short video about 3 minutes long. It'll tell you everything that happened. Them yahoos. But there's a lot more about McDonald's here in the Philippines, and I don't want to keep badgering them about it. It is what it is, It is what it is. And it's one of the things that when you live in the Philippines, you accept the fast food for the way that it comes out, because that's the only way you're going to get it. I don't like to complain, because what happens in the culture over here, what I've seen is the people feel they get into their feelings, and they feel like you're berating them. And I'm like, look, I'm not berating you. I'm talking about the quality of the food or the lack thereof. It has nothing to do with you per se, If it is because of you, then don't get into your feelings. Correct yourself. So I try not to go there. I worked in the restaurant industry years ago, and it's not a fun industry, because it's like no matter what you do, you're danged if you do, danged if you don't, and nobody's ever happy. Or there's always somebody like me that comes in and is going to complain about something or other, and so I try not to be that way. But as I said, the older you get less patient, and I've always had like zero tolerance for nonsense, and so anyway, I find sarcasm doesn't go down too well in the Philippines. You think, Norm? You think? I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to laugh with you on that one. Man, I got you, man. I totally get it. Derek said, last year, always stay there when we fly out of Tacloban. Okay, great. You're staying at this hotel. I got you. Norm, I agree, mate. Says CEO to Farmer. There you go. Simon, I really appreciate you being here, man. Darren, not all Aussie are rude like that bloke, Colonel. And you should have said something to him, because I would have. I was having a bad day already. And I knew whatever I said to him was not going to go over real well. And I just thought, I don't feel like it anymore. I just like, you know what? It ain't even worth it. But I'm with you. And normally I would have said something. But this dude looked like, how do I say this politely? He looked like he was a little down on his luck. Okay? And I just didn't want to add insult to injury, because he obviously had not bathed in a while, and I wish he had. And I don't know. I just let it go. For some reason, I let it go. Normally I wouldn't, but this time I did. And I was watching while he was sitting at the table, and I thought, you know what? I'm glad I didn't say anything to him, because I wanted to, but I stopped myself. I don't always do the wrong thing. And you're correct. Not all Aussies are rude, because my friend Tony Eastmead in Thailand is one of the politest Australian man you'll ever meet, and just non-combative. He's non-confrontational. If anything, he goes too far the other direction. He just is very accepting. I wish I could be as accepting as he is. Sometimes when people push his buttons, I've seen him snap back on a chat before, but he's a good guy. It would take me a couple years to get my bike license, and I'll be there before done. So I'll do it there if I decide. Wow, it takes that long in Oz, Norm? I didn't know it would take you that long to. Wow. Okay. Learned something there. Hey, Stone Cold from Darren. Norm says, I think when I get my car license transferred there, I need to do a test as I drive on the left-hand side of the road here. I've only been driving for over 40 years. Norm, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. You're not going to have any problem at all. It took when I first went to Thailand, because, in Thailand they drive on that same strange side of the road that you drive on, and it took me about 30 days, and I made a couple mistakes, and had people beeping their horns at me, and I'm like, sorry, foreigner, falang, sorry. And then the longer you live in Thailand, you laugh because they all drive on the wrong side of the road anyway. Even though they drive on the wrong side of the road, they go on whatever side of the road that's expedient for them at the time for wherever they're going. They don't give two rips unless you're a foreigner doing it the wrong way. But anyway, you won't have a problem. The adjustment will be easier than you think. You just got to rewire your thinking to, okay, when I turn right, I'm turning into the right lane. When I turn left, I'm turning over. I got to cross over and go in that. You get used to it. And plus, you'll see everybody else, unless it's a one-way street. But you'll see what everybody else is doing, and you'll be surprised how quickly you adapt. Stone Cold gives a wave to Darren, or is that a Michael Jackson glove? I'm not sure. Hey, James and Karen stopped by. When we left, the oil was honey colored. Yeah, see? That's what I was telling folks. They had brand new oil in there. Or oil that was perfectly clear. It wasn't that way after. So somebody put something in there. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it now, but I told James already what I thought happened. And he knows. James is in the house, Lou. Yes, he is, Lou. Thanks for confirming that. Appreciate it. Yeah, Norm, driving on the opposite side feels fun, but you get used to it. Yeah, it's, Philippines, I give them credit. They do it right over here. They drive on the correct side of the road. For those of you in Oz that are offended by that, which country was driving first? I don't know. I have to research that. And if it was, say it was England, because they drive on the incorrect side of the road also. If it was them that had their first cars and they were driving there, well, all I can say is we kicked them out for a reason, and we chose the side of the road that's proper. I'm totally joking with you guys, man. I don't even care. I love busting all my British friends, I got a really good friend from Thailand. He and I, the banter, man, especially on July 4th, between Ian and I, we end up laughing at each other. It's hilarious. I always tell him to go get his red coat, put it on, just in celebration of July 4th in America. But anyway, I'm just messing with you guys. Did you see the MacArthur landing? Yeah, I saw that last time I was here, Derek. I will forever, and I did a video on it. Derek, go check out my videos. I will forever remember the Colonel when I see cheesy eggs and longanisa in the McDonald's menu. Thanks, Lou. Yeah, I don't know if that's the best thing for me to be remembered for, but it's something anyway, man. I appreciate it. It's all good, Colonel. Yeah, it is. It's all good. Norm says, I drive a VW now, so at least the signaling won't be a problem. I think we'll be okay. After I get back from my month-long trips there, I find it weird being back on the left. Yeah, I mean, I went over to Thailand last year, and I rented a motorbike, and honestly, it was just like old times for me. It wasn't that big of, I don't know, I was really shocked at that, and I was also shocked at how quickly I remembered all the Thai language that I learned while I was there. It was just like, yeah, it was like automatic. It's the strangest thing, especially the way my brain's been going lately. Let's see, the best McDonald's I eaten was in France. The quality of the bread, beef patty, tomatoes, lettuce was just bon appetit. Well, very good, Lou. That's good to know. If I ever decide to go to France, nah, not going to happen. Been to France before, was not a good visit, and I don't care to go back. And that's a story for another day. You actually stared off on the left. Wait, stared off on the left in the U.S. as well. What are you saying there, Norm? Oh, started off on the left. Yeah, yeah. That's what I was trying to tell the. That's what I was trying to tell the LTO here in the Philippines. Like, hey, you know, I was driving more years in America than you've been alive, and you're harassing me just because. And here's why. My bad. I let my Florida driver's license expire, and so then it becomes quote unquote invalid, which means I guess if it's invalid, you don't know how to drive, I guess. And that's what they told me. So I had to show them my Thailand driver's license, which were still valid. And because I used my Thailand driver's license for the conversion, this is what they explained to me, that's why I had to be retested. And I looked at that poor lady. I said, you know what? I said, Mom, I haven't done a practical driving exam in over 40 years. I said, this ought to be pretty funny. I said, do I need to study? And she's looking at me like, what? It's just like, I thought, I'm going to, since they're going to be obnoxious enough to make me do this, I'm going to be a little obnoxious myself doing it. Yeah, it was something, man. That's the other thing, too. You go down there and they make you pay. They're at the desk for the practical exam, and I'm looking at the lady like, I already paid. Oh, no, you have to pay here, too. Excuse me? And then I found out later, oh, you got to take the practical. You want a motorbike license? Well, yeah, it's on my. I gave you a motorbike license. Yeah, I want that converted. Oh, well, you need to go do the practical exam for the motorbike. So there I am on a little miniature Honda Click. I was just like, come on, man. But I did it. It was a joke. Let's see. Where am I at? Yeah, Darren says, it's funny, Colonel. American would last 2 minutes driving your side here, as our kangaroos and emus will sort you. I love it, Darren. That's great, man. I love it. That's hilarious. That's great, man. That's great. Hold on a minute. I got to do something for that comment. Give me a second. Yeah. I got to pin that one. That was hilarious. Yep. There you go, Darren. I pinned that comment because that was hilarious. Happa says, and I got to get going here soon, folks. Let me see real quick. Yeah, I got to get off here pretty quick because that CR over there is calling me. I drank too much at lunch. Let's see. Yeah. Happa says, semi off topic, but the reason people drive on the left side of the road goes back to the samurai days. Well, it just means they've been wrong longer, Happa. That's okay. I'm messing with you, man. I don't really care. In ancient Japan, samurais had their swords on the left side of their hip, their desire as an extension of their soul. So even if two samurais bumped their swords, they would fight to the death. That's good information, good history there, Happa. I wasn't trying to be insensitive. I thought you were talking about driving ox carts or something. Hence, right side passes the other person's right side, no problems. Okay. All right, man. It's talking about in Japan, of course. Samurais. Any update on the girl you were talking to? Well, we kind of left on not good terms because the way she was acting. And I told her how I felt about the way she was acting in her immaturity. And she's still talking to me. I'll just leave it at that. But, she's still talking. But like I told you, I have many people talk to me and everything, and I keep my options open. And I was just trying to get to know her better and see if that was a good alternative. I was sweet on her, I ain't gonna lie to you. But, we'll see what happens and where God leads me on that. Okay. She's missing out her loss. Thanks, Happa. You're too kind, man. I don't know about all that. I got a lot of issues myself. And I told her that, too. I tell any woman I talk to, hey, I ain't perfect. And here's my issues. You want to know what they are? It's a long list. So you got time for it, you know. But anyway, Darren says, try emus, but they turn the opposite way and it hurts hitting the ground. Yeah, that ain't good. It's funny, Colonel. Hold on, I can't, my phone's, oh, never mind. I'm reading the pinned comment. I tell you what, folks, I'm at the end there, and I appreciate everybody being here. There's like 13 people still hanging about, and I appreciate that. I hope I didn't bore too many people too much or offend too many people that's lurking in the background. And thank you all for the thumbs up. I'm going to get going here because I'm going to head to the airport shortly. Oh, wait, Norm says something. Nice chatting, Colonel. Have a safe flight, mate, and catch you later. Stay safe, everyone. Yeah, have a safe flight. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. And appreciate everyone. Sometimes I'm not the best at communicating appreciation, so I got to make a real effort at it. So if I repeat myself a lot, that's why I'm doing it, because I sincerely do appreciate you guys taking time out of your valuable day to come to my live stream and listen to whatever I have to say, and to listen to each other and be civil with each other and listen to what other people have to say. I totally appreciate that. Hey, mate, it's great catching up. See ya. All right, Darren. Listen, y'all take care. Colonel's out. Till next time. God bless.